Aldean.
Hey, buddy.
What's going on?
I didn't get an invite to the house last night.
Why not?
I don't know. All I know is I come to work and we went to Jason Aldean's house.
Hey, I didn't send out the invites, so that's above my pay grade right there. You're invited. Hey, you just come over just on a random night.
Can you imagine? Jason.
Come on.
It's me, Bobby.
Hey, I got people over there all the time anyways. Hey, what's one more? Come on.
Who hangs out at your house?
Tyler Farr, a lot. And my sister's like my next door neighbor, and so I have 3 nieces at that house, so they're always at my house. And then my daughters obviously are over there, and they'll have friends over sometimes. And so,
do you have a swimming pool?
My mom, my dad, my whole family's like right around my house, so I always got people over there.
You have a swimming pool?
Yeah.
Is it ready yet?
No, actually, it's like a concrete pool, so we're having to repaint the bottom part of it. So we actually just emptied it out so we can paint it. And
with your face? Because if I had a pool, my face would be at the bottom of it.
I do not want to look at that every day when I'm swimming. Trust me, my face.
Let me see what we got here. So you put out another song, I think Friday of last week, right? The title track?
Yeah, title track. It's Rearview Town, man. Probably one of my favorite songs on the record.
You look at that stuff when it goes up? Do you look at reaction?
Yeah, man. I like to know what people are saying and how they're feeling about the song, and so I'll throw it up there on on the gram and just kind of say, hey, new songs out, and what do you guys think? And
will you look at them?
Yeah, I'll check them out and see what people say, and unless they're not digging it, then I just won't look at them anymore. But
that was my question. Do the bad ones, like the 1 or 2 bad ones out of 300, do they bother you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's you want everybody to like the stuff you're doing, but I also am smart enough to know that not everybody's going to like what I do, and you're always going to have the ones that are going to have a comment or two to say. But ultimately, if I can look at it and 90% of the people that are listening to it or commenting on it like it, then I think that's pretty good. So,
do you dance?
No,
not at all. Because I hear
not
this
if I
song,
can help it.
Like, how do you sing this song without slow dancing a little bit?
I mean, I can slow dance if I have to, and I have, but it's not something that I enjoy.
But do you dance when no one's watching? You just don't enjoy dancing?
No.
No, like spontaneous little dance parties at the house with all these people that are there?
Maybe if I've been drinking, but it's not something I just make a habit of doing.
So
I don't
basically,
think.
But who doesn't like dancing?
I don't know.
Even if you're not good at it.
Well, that's it. I'm not good at it.
If they said $10 million, Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, no way. No.
You hate it that much?
Yeah, I don't like dancing anyway. I definitely don't want to do it on primetime TV.
Man,
I could have the best teacher ever, and it probably wouldn't matter.
But you're an athlete.
Yeah, I'm not saying I couldn't, but I don't know. I just don't enjoy dancing. I don't know what it is.
What do you enjoy doing?
Maybe I'm weird.
What are your hobbies? Top 3 hobbies.
Top 3 hobbies. I like to do outdoor stuff. I like to hunt and fish and play golf, and I like to play softball or basketball. Or
do you play softball?
Yeah, I play on the road actually. So I have last year. So I have me and my band, and Kane Brown played with us, and we'll go out and we'll play. Maybe play the sheriff's department in whatever town we're playing in. So you'll
set up games, huh?
Yeah. So,
well, that's cool.
So it's fun. I mean, it's kind of gives us something to do, get off the bus and, have some fun.
What position are you?
I play shortstop.
Of course.
But, but I mean, I love playing baseball. I grew up playing baseball, and even when I got out of high school, I used to play used to play softball in big tournaments and stuff. So
first base gets the most camera time.
I know. That's why I used to play first base in high school. Mm-hmm. So they got the ball all the time, so I like that. But my cousin who works for me and is on the team is 6'6", so he's the first baseman. He's a big target.
That's why I had to stop playing, because I played first base even into college a bit. Tried a little walk-on because I was an okay baseball player. But I was left-handed, and not a lot of room for contact hitting average first baseman.
Hey, that was me, man. I was a slap hitter, base stealer, and playing first base with no power. It didn't work out.
So
well
you did
for
the
me.
same thing.
Yeah. So I actually got recruited to college to play middle infield, but because I did play middle infield in summer leagues and all that, because I knew I didn't have the pop to play first base in college.
You're right-handed though, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they stuck me over there. I was left-handed.
I can actually switch hit, but I'm better.
Oh, Amy,
I'm naturally right-handed.
I was about to bring up
Amy's
that I can too.
ambidextrous, she says.
When I meant
I'm not
that,
ambidextrous, but I can hit
me
left-handed.
too. Golf or softball, I can do left or right.
Oh, I can't.
And
I can't hit a golf ball left-handed.
I've showed these guys at our
Yeah,
golf,
you're equally bad at both.
I got on base last time. You at the City of Hope softball tournament. I went up there, batted left-handed, which I'm right-handed, made contact, got on base.
Okay.
I didn't walk to the base. I hit the ball and I ran to the base and I was safe.
What is this? We don't have it yet, but you did a song with Miranda.
Yeah.
So everybody's been talking about it. But like, I haven't heard it yet, but what is it? A slow song, a fast song?
It's kind of I guess kind of be more like a mid. It's a little bit more of a slower type mid song and pretty, probably more on the traditional countryside. It's called Drowns of Whiskey and it's, it's kind of similar, I would say, to something like The Truth or any old Barstool. It's kind of along those lines, but it's a really cool song, man. And Miranda, we recorded a song together on my second album called Grown Woman that was really cool. And she kind of she was on it, but she was sort of, it was background, in the background a little bit. And so I wanted to make it more of a feature thing on this record. And so she came in and she's really a great, harmony singer, and our voices just blend really well together. And so she sang on this thing, and we just kind of cranked her way up in the mix, and it's cool, man. She did a great job on it.
How does that ask go? And who comes up with the idea to ask Miranda? Like, what's that whole process?
It was my idea, and luckily, I've known Miranda for years. We kind of came up in the business together. We hit about the same time and toured together a lot in the early days, and so I've known her for a long time and been friends for a long time. So I just basically just called her up, and so the way it went down was I had a song in mind, and I called her and I said, hey, I want to send you the song and see what you think. And I sent her the song, and she wasn't really crazy about the song, and so I said, hey, if you don't like the song, I don't want to do that song. So I was like, I got another one that just came in that I think will probably fit better anyway. So I sent her that one, and it was Drowns of Whiskey, and that's the one she liked, and so that's one we did. But the first one I sent her, she was kind of like, it's okay. She was trying to be nice and basically say that, she didn't like it.
But isn't that cool that she would say she didn't
absolutely.
like it? Absolutely. Isn't that admirable?
Absolutely. And, because that's me too. Like, I'm a straight shooter, so just be up front. And because, I obviously too, I didn't want her to be, singing on a song she didn't like. So I just told her, I was like, if you don't like this one, it's cool. Like, we'll find something cool. This is the one we had in mind, but if you don't like it, I got another one.
How about this? So let me keep my sources because they won't care as long as I don't say who they are. We're doing a record, and they asked Kendrick Lamar to do a verse.
Okay.
And it was he was charging $250,000. I think
to do a verse?
Is the quote that I've heard.
I can tell you who won't ever be singing on my record.
So if an artist called you,
I wouldn't give him that if he sang the whole song.
You wouldn't pay him $250 for the whole thing?
No, man, come on.
But that's not happening though, right? You didn't have to pay.
No.
That's just friendship.
Yeah, this country music's a different world. We're all friends. We all know each other, and listen, if she's on my album and it's a cool event and people are talking about it and that's good for both of us. You know what I mean? Vice versa. If I do something on her record and it gets some traction and starts becoming a thing and people are talking about it, that's good for me. So I think that's just kind of the way we look at it. Not that it's a money grab and it's a way to grab some money. So
Jason's got 19 number ones, Amy, which I don't even know how long it would take to play 19 number ones in a show.
Oh, let's try it and see what.
But how many songs do you play on a set list?
Oh man, we don't play all of them, but we play. Out of the 19, I would say we probably play. 17 or 18 of them.
What's the one you wouldn't like to play anymore, but you still play because the fans love it? But if you're like, man, if I could just put that away for a bit.
Well, we've done that on certain things. The one to me that's always kind of hard to pull off is the duet with Kelly. Just because.
Don't you want to stay?
Yeah, just because she's not there. You know what I mean? And so I end up kind of singing the whole song by myself, or we have her on a video screen. It's like we can only put her on a video screen so many times to make it cool. You know what I mean? So that's the one that we kind of have a hard time really, keeping in the show and kind of making it fresh. So there's that one, and I'm trying to think of some of the other ones that
Which one is still super fun to you then? It's old and you love playing it
She's
every
country.
time. Every time.
She's
still.
country to me. As
Just
soon as we
like that's still a
as soon as we rip into that song, man, I mean, the reaction we get from the crowd is the same as it was when that song was at number one. Like it's the same reaction now as it was then, and it's still fun to play. That's the one that kind of gets everybody up and moving.
I bring up you have 19 number ones. Here's the little challenge I give you. I'll give you the song. Your first number one in 2005. What's the first line to Why?
It's 3 a.m.
It's 3 a.m. Here we go.
It's 3 a.m.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Good one.
First line to Big Green Tractor. You don't get any music, you know?
I know, I'm trying to play it in my head right now. There we go. She had a shiny little beamer.
There it is.
Had a shiny little beam.
How about Flyover States? Can you hit that first line?
Couple guys.
A couple guys
There
in
it is.
first class.
Good. Night Train.
Oh man. I'm trying to remember the intro to that one. Play me intro. There we go. I've been thinking about you all day, baby.
There it is.
I've been thinking about you all
Wait, this
day,
is fun. Do another
baby.
one.
What?
Do another one.
I don't have a whole bunch of them. I have Don't You Want to Stay?
Will I get an intro and listen to
Oh,
it?
come on. These are your songs.
Okay, I'll do. It's like, don't you want to stay here a little while?
I really hate to let this moment go.
There it
you go.
is.
I really hate to let this moment go.
I'm playing the piano part in my head to get the intro, but yeah, it just I have to hear all that stuff, you know.
What do your band guys say about you? If they were to say, hey, in a room, separate, I say, hey,
That's a good question.
Tell me about Jason.
Man, here's what I'll say. I mean, those guys are, some of my best friends. So we, I would hope it would be all good stuff. I'd like to think they would say I'm the same now as I was, when we met. I mean, Tully, my bass player, he was one of my first friends I met when I moved to town. And I remember him coming over to my apartment back in like '99, and us just sitting around writing songs in my apartment and putting our money together to order a pizza. So we could eat, and neither one of us really had much going on, and I've known him since then, and he was really the one that sort of helped me to find, the rest of the guys in the band, Kurt and Rich and all those guys. So, I've known those guys for a long time, and we all kind of moved to town roughly about the same time, and sort of navigated the music scene here, together, and it was cool to sort of, that's what I think was cool. Like once we finally hit, it was cool to be able to share that with like the guys that had been with me since I moved to town. So I would hope to think that they would say cool stuff, but I don't know.
If you have a show that you think is not the best show, what do you like to be around after the show?
I'm fine. I mean, to me, it's, we go out, and if we have a bad show, I mean, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. I mean, there's going to be nights where stuff doesn't work, or stuff, guitar strings break, or my mic goes out, or, I mean, that's just playing music, man. It's going to happen. And, I don't sit back there and worry about it too much. I mean, I hate it for the people that were there. Obviously you want to give them the best show that you can, but, sometimes stuff happens, and, I'm not back there in a bad mood or anything after the show.
I was looking at that picture of when you and your daughter, you went to 80s night at school.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, are you able to go and not have people bother you the whole time?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I mean, my kids have gone to that school. Even my oldest daughter went to that school. And so all the
But the parents
teachers
are cool.
and
They,
for the most part. I mean, occasionally you'll have somebody, come up and want to talk and kind of hem you up for a while. But for the most part, I mean, especially something like that where it's, I'm there with her, and, it's really fun, so.
I always say, if you see someone out and they're with their kids or they're eating, you should leave them alone.
I would agree with that. And here's my thing, even if I'm eating, like, if I'm getting up and I'm getting ready to leave the restaurant, that I'm fine with that.
But you're not eating. Yeah, but you're done eating.
Right. And and a lot of times if somebody comes up and I am eating, I'll just kind of be like, hey, if you're going to be around when we get ready to leave, I'll come take a picture or do whatever, because I don't mind at all. But yeah, the other thing to me is like if I'm at my kids' ball games, that's sometimes where people want to come up, and usually it's people from the other team. Like if we're playing a team and they see us over there, they'll come over, and it's tough, man, because on one hand, like I appreciate the fact that they are fans and want to meet me and all that stuff, and on the other hand, I feel like my kid's sitting there watching me to make sure I'm watching her play her game, and I'm over there taking pictures. I don't know, it just makes me feel kind of weird. So even then, like I like to wait till the game's over or whatever. But
one time I was at a urinal, I was peeing, and there was a stall next to me, and I heard someone go, "Hey, Bobby," and I'm peeing. What am I gonna do? And I was like, "Yeah."
They reach his hand over.
His head. He stands up on the toilet and looks down as I'm peeing and goes, "Hey, man, huge fan." And I was like, "Wow."
Now, so that's where I would have went berserk right there.
I was just embarrassed.
That's weird. Like it's.
But I don't think
that's common sense stuff to me. Like you just don't do that. You know what I mean? Or if you're in a urinal and the guy reaches his hand over to shake your hand while both of you guys are, and like that's
happened to you?
That's where I'm just like,
one time.
No.
Jerry Van Dyke. I don't know if you ever watched Coach.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I was a big Jerry Van Dyke fan because he's from Arkansas too, where I'm from. We're both from really small towns, and we were in the bathroom at Oaklawn Racetrack, and he just finished peeing, and he zipped his pants up, and I reached out my hand to shake his hand. I was like, "I'm such a big fan," and he shook it. Then I was like, "I'm such an idiot." I just shook Jerry Van Dyke's pee hand.